today's project, build a redneck rotisserie, or a car tip-over jig, whatever you want to call it. But what I want to do is flip this car over on its side so that I can restore the bottom, clear out all the rust, do all kinds of repairs and rebuild it from the bottom, and then flip it back over, start working on the top. So first thing I had to do was make the car light, so stripped it of all kinds of big ugly ghastly things like this that weigh a lot. So you want to get it as light as possible. It's a 1962 Mercury Comet. It's the original Mustang, which came along a couple of years later based on this, but it's kind of unique because it's the unibody design. It doesn't have any big structural frame members like you do with larger cars. So when it's all bolted together, it's pretty strong, but otherwise it's pretty vulnerable in the spot, so you really got to be careful. Little 2x4 channels going down here, and that's what I'm going to pick up on the rear end here. What I'll do is fashion a board to fit there, and I'll make the board my primary mounting piece. First thing you got to do when you get started on a project like this, get some music going, preferably country, but whatever. Get a beer going, unless it's 9 in the morning like it is now, but otherwise always have a fridge in your garage for beer. But it's 9 in the morning, so we're going to work with coffee. So this is a dolly cart from Harbor Freight, about 55 bucks. Holds 1,500 pounds, so you do the math, it's a pretty good deal. So I want to be able to caster this thing around because I got a very tight space, and I need every square inch of real estate I can get in here when I go to flip this baby over. So anyway, what I'm going to start is by making a platform, put this on that I can use either in the normal mode and also use it when I flip it over in the rotisserie mode. I'll also be able to caster the car onto the garage then. So got a big old hunk of 12-inch hunk of wood here, about 20 bucks worth. I'm going to chop it all up and sink some holes in here to receive these caster nuts so that it'll remain stable. I'm going to hook 2 of them together. 1 to make it more stable, 2 to give me a better platform for after I roll it up onto the rotisserie. So, and this 4x6 looks weird, but you know, remember this is a redneck rotisserie. I'm going to mount these to the front section of those channels on the front and back of the car. So we're going cheap here because I'm a cheapskate, and plus it's a redneck operation. So, all right. Alright, so it's afternoon now, time to start drinking beer. I'll tell you what I did today, I got a lot done. So, the first thing I need to do is get a nice sturdy piece of timber mounted here. And I cut this to extend beyond here, and then I put these brackets in here that actually came from a kid's play set. Been dragging around for years, and I stuck them on there. Gives it a little bit more stability because when it rotates over into the upright position, the forces will change. And so it's really got to be sturdy. The reason I didn't extend this beyond to make it a leg is because it's not in the right place to be one of the legs in the upright configuration. So what I'll do is I'll mount a board below here and make that one of the legs. So anyway, I'm kind of putting the cart ahead of the horse here because I still have a lot of weight to reduce. Jerking out more heavy stuff like this. I'll pull all the tie rods and the wishbones and the steering gearbox, the steering wheel, the heater box is going to have to come out because of the liquid inside. It'll spill all out. So possibly even the harness and the brake system, I'll get all that out and then I'll be ready to roll over. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what I've gotten done here so far. And if you come down here, you can see the carrier that I made with the wheels. Has 2 positions. Later I'll be able to move this out when I roll it up over into the rotisserie. So the undercarriage worked out pretty well. So more to follow in the next installment. One thing you definitely want to do first is establish a datum or a reference. So get the car level, so you don't need to get too carried away, but this door jam, that's not the right word, this door bottom conforms to the beam that goes through here, so I want this level and I want it level laterally as well. So that's the first thing you need to do, get it where you want it, where you intend to roll it. Alright, so here's what we're going for. This is what it'll look like in the back. I still need to mount this leg on there, but anyway, I established the center reference here. So a lot of the decisions I make are based on distance from center here. And you know, this is kind of what we're going for here. And I got, like I said, I got the car where I wanted it, and I sort of built it up with a piece of wood there, and I'll use the same piece of wood on all 4 places. But let me show you real quickly now how I built this piece right here, and I slapped it all together, and bada boom, bada bing. I got a little carried away here with putting these bolts on here, but I'm just a little bit nervous about this thing bearing all the weight. But the more screws you get, the more distribution of weight you get across the screws, so a little crazy. I bought all the materials for this thing, and I think I've probably sunk about $80 or $100 on lumber, probably, maybe 25 maybe on all the hardware, and I had a bunch of stuff laying around too. So you can very realistically do this for under 150 bucks. In order to build the other things on the end, what you have to do is have some ply. The ply provides the roller surface, also provides the integrity of this thing. So I may have misquoted you on the cost, because I had this ply laying around. If you didn't have ply, you'd have to go buy a couple hunks of ply, which costs about 3,000 bucks a piece these days, I guess. So anyway, this is a 3/4 treated. You could probably get by with something a lot thinner, and you could probably also get by with just one, but I want to put 2 and give myself sort of a gusset or a saddle to go all the way around. So in order to make your curve, pretty simple. Just take yourself a string and tie it up. You can adjust how far in or how far out you want to go. So I came in 4 inches here, 4 inches here, and that's what I want. Boom. Nothing to it. Pick one of these babies. And after properly installing your OSHA approved safety glasses, go to work. I'm okay with a little bit of a jump here, because as I roll it, bump, it'll sort of pop off the main leg, so don't let that freak you out. Then you go to town. One thing I should have mentioned is with these clamps, I put both these pieces together. I got them the width and length that I wanted, and I clamp them together. Then when I cut them, I get the exact same dimensions here on the curve. If I make mistakes and variations, it's duplicated on the opposite side. That way, as it rolls, the load is evenly distributed across the 4. Theoretically, if you have them mated up with each other, the front and the back, the load will be distributed over all 4 of these pieces of ply. So it's a lot of car to be rolling around on a piece of plywood. It seems kind of crazy on its face, but just take as many precautions as I can. Alright, so I got these 2 saddles, whatever you want to call them, the actual roller from the ply. I got those finished and cut, and I have them tacked up here. I have the 2x6 just tacked in place, level. Had to cut a notch out here to accommodate the main board there, though. But anyway, so now that I have these tacked in place, I'll go through and drop the boards. I'll put a supporting board in there because the weight will distribute here. So I've beefed this up a little bit right around here. Fix that up here so it doesn't tip over. Anyway, there we go. Downhill stretch here, so let me show you a couple of things I did, last minute things, and I'll be ready to flip it over. I want a little more flip over protection as it goes over, so I added this piece to the middle. All I did was just hang it in there and pick up the back edge of the far side there and wedge it in there, and then cram a couple of boards up here. It looks bizarre, but it was real easy to build. Just took me a few minutes, and it'll give me a little bit of added protection from it flipping all the way over. So, one thing I did also was to give myself a little bit of leverage when I go to flip this thing over. Add these pipes so the 3 guys can stand back there, and I also added one in the middle there. So pull those out, gives a little leverage, and flip it on over. So now for the one last step you got to do, you call up a couple of neighbors, invite them over for some beer. Then you bait the hook, you lay the trap, and then you wait. It's pretty good beer though. They know they can get good beer here, so they'll show up. They'll be here. So now we wait, see if they fall for it. Modification number 19, added these handles here because we tried to tip it over yesterday and found that once we reached over center it got real scary and we had to go clean out our pants. So we're going to shift a guy over here to these handles to let it all the way down.